Welcome back to this exciting third episode of the Lengthy Lads podcast, hosted by the now fantastic foursome of Annoying Mouse, the average EAFC player, Birty, and the ultra-lengthy new co-host, Azza 23 Gaming. In this episode, the lads are diving headfirst into the EAFC 24 action, dissecting the highs, the lows, and any unexpected surprises of the first week. But that's not all. The controversy meter is off the charts as they tackle the outrageous VAR controversy from this weekend's match. Get ready for a spirited discussion that's sure to spark your football passion. So whether you're tuning in for the first time or joining us as a loyal listener, this episode promises to be a footballing feast you won't want to miss. Now it's time for kick-off, so let's get lengthy. Welcome back, avid listeners and fellow football fanatics, to another exciting kick-off of the Lengthy Lads podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Annoying Mouse, and I'm here as always with my co-host, the average FIFA player, and Birty. But alongside us today is our new signing and new co-host, Azza 23 Gaming. We've got plenty of virtual and real-world football to bring to you, so let's get straight on into the action. So first, Azza, welcome. And how are you feeling today?
I am feeling very good, thank you. I'm enjoying my last day of being a 28-year-old, heading into my last year in my 20s tomorrow, and enjoying Ultimate Team as well.
It's only downhill, mate, once you get into
my knees are clicking already.
Slippery slope. Ryan, how are we?
I am struggling at the moment. Not with the game, just think I've got the dreaded COVID, so I've been struggling over the last couple of days, but very, very much enjoying the game. I know there's a specific member of this podcast who is going to tear me to shred for this one, but I actually love it. I think it's really, really good. And welcome, Azza, to the boys, to the Lengthy Lads.
Thank you very much.
And Shane, finally you. How are you feeling?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Back work this week after a week off, so just getting back into the habit and getting used to the alarm going off. But I'm the one that's not enjoying Ultimate Team, or anything about it actually. So, but we'll delve into that a bit later on.
Yeah, we'll crack on into that in a bit. But first off, we're going to test the podcast theory. So we have all prepared a 2 rare gold players pack because that is the only thing you can do currently on the game. And ready, boys? 3, 2, 1. It's not special. Oh, it's absolutely shite.
Hello.
Ericsson.
Hakan Calhanoglu.
Goretzka is mine.
I've got Ericsson.
A dupe.
Jesus.
84 Alex Ramiro for me.
So we all got a board and above, so
Take it.
there you go.
85 dupe.
Upgrade.
Both dupes, but pod theory.
Only do your gold upgrades whilst you're listening to the Lengthy Lads podcast. That's the rule.
Tweet
of
us
life.
to let us know what you got in yours.
But not when you're driving.
Yeah, please, not whilst you're driving. We don't want to have that on our hands. So we'll jump in then to EAFC 24. I want to know how your guys' squads are looking, but just a quick line on it. Currently, I think everyone's running about an 85 or an 86 rated squad. So first question really to you guys is, do you think that's right for 3 days into the game? I know we've all had it a week early because of the Ultimate Edition, but do you think that's right for us to be having that rated squad this early in the game?
I mean, I would love to have an 86 rated squad. I think mine's 83, 84 at the moment. Obviously, the RTG woes. But yeah, these packs are insane at the moment. They are ruining the game, I think. The high rated squads I'm coming up against in Div 6 and now I'm in Div 5 is insane. They're squads I'd expect to see in Div 1 and Elite Division already.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think mine's 86. It's probably pushing towards an 87 now, to be honest.
I'm absolutely buzzing with my team. It's not even that good. I'm just really, really enjoying the way it's fit together. The playstyle pluses that I've got and the different playstyles with the whipped crosses and things like that Mouse, I know you're a big fan of as well.
Yeah.
I've not gone for chemistry. I think I'm rocking like 16 chem at the moment. But loving, I packed Rafael Leao earlier on today. he's fantastic. Paired him up top with Memphis Depay. Absolutely loving both of them. I'm using Rodri at CDM with his 50 pace. It's not been an issue. But I think, like everybody else, I'm struggling with the defending. I think it is rock hard. And if I get a clean sheet in any game, it is an absolute. It's ridiculous because it never happens. Never ever will get a clean sheet. I think I'm in Div 7 now, and I've still only had about 3 clean sheets in the whole game. So let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I've not had as much luck this year yet as I did last, but my squad's only an 84. But my Chem OCD just won't let me pick certain players. But I've got lucky and bagged the Griezmann earlier, so I'm looking forward to trying him out and see what that finesse play style's like. But it meant I can get Llorente in as well now. So I've got Edison the other day as well, so I've heard good things about him. But yeah, it's mainly Liverpool still. I've done my Gomez, my Nunes. But yeah, I just find it too slow. It's too slow for my liking. I'm doing well. I've qualified. I got finished 8-2. Div 5 arrivals now, so I'm not doing too bad. But I'm just not enjoying the gameplay. It's just a bit slow for me. The defending's non-existent. You tackle a player and it just seems to bobble away, and they still have it. The positioning on them is awful. They're all over the shop. But yeah, it's just a personal thing. Like for me, I'm just not really enjoying the gameplay. But we'll see after the first patch because it always changes after that anyway.
I think with just to add to Shane with the defending as well, I'm seeing so many players cross positions. It's constant. Like I'm seeing my left back crossing into central midfield, trying to play some sort of Pep Guardiola style of play. That my custom tactics have not asked him to do that or her to do that. In fact, because I've got the PSG team of the week left back, and she's running into the midfield for absolutely no reason. I've got Memphis Depay dropping into Cam and James Maddison going up front for, again, no reason whatsoever that I'm completely confused by. So I don't know whether you guys are getting any of the same, but it's just worrying me at the moment.
I just find that the defenders don't seem to have any positional awareness or anything. Like if a striker knocks a ball by them, they're so slow to like react to it or turn to chase after them or something like that. Like I get that you're probably going to have to learn to defend manually and stuff like that, which is fine, but you should still have a chance. Like it shouldn't be this difficult for everybody.
No, I think you're right. I've massively struggled with it as well. What's eased the burden a little bit is bringing in. I can't remember Azza. It's that centre back for Barca that you keep packing.
Irene Paredes.
Whatever her name is. Yeah, that one. Yeah, brought I think her in, and that's made a difference. I did allude to this on the last pod that I think you need smaller, agile defenders. I think these big lumps aren't going to cut it this year. I think we'll start to see shortly. We'll see Kyle Walker at centre back. People will start loading him in, and he'll be in centre back because I think it's not built for big defenders. You know, the king of lengthy last year. Everything I did was lengthy, but this year, you know, it's just not happening. You know, I've got that Barca striker, Oshuala or whatever. I don't know how to say her name. I don't want to butcher it too much, but the one with blue hair. She's absolutely incredible, and she's the furthest away I could imagine from what my striker would have been this year. But you know, again, she's just incredible. And with these nimble players and the fact that left stick dribbling's back, that's what makes me think is, you know, if we're using these like Rudiger, I've got him, but I don't know. I can't. Just doesn't. It's not clicking at all. So I think personally that could be half the issue with the defending is we're trying to defend with the wrong players.
I'm using Kanate at the minute, who I would class as a big lump, and he's been probably the only one that seems to do a job. But even still, with him, they just always seem to be like on the back foot, like they're never ready for someone to run at them or something like that, or to make a turn. They're just like they never seem to be in the right place or anything.
I'm using Lisandro Martinez at centre half, and he's got 77 agility and 82 balance, which I guess for a defender at the start early game is quite good. And he's massively outperforming Skriniar, which by the way, I had absolutely no idea he'd gone to PSG. But he's massively outperforming him, and he's got 54 agility and 56 balance, and he's a bit of a big lump. So Mouse, to be fair, you're probably bang on there. I have actually used João Cancelo at centre half at points, and he's been doing pretty well there as well. So you might have a point there, mate. To be fair,
Yeah, like something else that Shane and me spoke about last time on the pod was the curve moving. That as you move up through the divisions, it's not a case that you can kind of play with the same players as you're going up the divisions. It feels like you go up a division, you need to change 3 to 4 players because the players you've got are no longer at that level, which I don't think that's quite right. That you shouldn't, when I was in Div 6, couldn't win a game to save my life, and I brought in 3 or 4 different players, changed tactics, and all right, I've got up into Div 5 now, and I've kind of stabilised a little bit. But that's happened almost every single division. I've had to add different players in, which is I can't do that every time. We're going up a division that the curve's moving. It's just it seems a bit. It's not quite right.
But maybe, and this is me giving EA too much credit, but maybe they've engineered this themselves because they don't want people to be using the same cards all the way through, and they want people to be chopping and changing cards and trying different cards out. So maybe it has something to do with the market. I don't know. I might be talking out my arse, but I've always said that this game I'm wanting to try new players out as much as possible. And by that happening, maybe that's actually given me the kind of onus to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right. I don't know if it's giving them a bit too much credit, but
yeah, I don't think they're that clever.
But I'd like to think it's that. But yeah, again, I've tried out so many players. Like normally, I'm quite strict, and I'll add one here and there. But I change it sort of 3 or 4 at a time. I do feel now like my team's quite settled now. It's got out of Div 6. I'm into Div 5. Someone like Lewandowski coming in. I mean, he's cheap. He's pretty much discard, fodder for what he is. But he's such a good card. And I mean, if you haven't discovered play styles yet, then you're missing out because that crossing trait and then the heading play style that Lewandowski is just a cheat code because these crosses come in and they're pinpoint. And they seem to move in the air to suit where the player's going. So I think they've got it. It's way too overpowered. It should get nerfed. But
so at some point, Sorloth's going to be infinitely usable because you'll have a team of the week or something. Sorloth at some point with the way that he's playing at the moment, and you'll be able to just whack crosses into him for the old time.
Yeah, I think you're right. The good news is with those playstyle pluses, they can just whack them on whoever they want, and it could. One or two of them could change a card immediately, and they could put it on anything, and it will just change a card. Say like Matip, it'd only take them to put a playstyle plus on him, and he becomes completely usable again. So I think that's a really good point on the playstyles, but I get what Shane means.
I don't
being
see
frustrated with the game.
I don't see them nerfing stuff like that because there was stuff in the last FIFA that people were doing that they never fixed, like flicking it up on the edge of the box and doing an overhead kick. And there was nothing you could do against it.
No, there's not. But the thing is, that's an old gen thing. It doesn't happen on new gen.
Yeah, I don't really see it on new gen.
So a lot of the stuff on old gen is just old gen specific. So like the corner, the overhead kick from the corner, I hardly ever saw it on new gen. If someone tried to do it, it was so easy to counter. But I think that's just a gen thing. We had high hopes for you, Shane, that you were going to be on new gen, not using any chem, and the game's just driven you into it by the looks of it.
Yeah.
But
there's many things wrong with it, mate. But the worst thing is they don't even address it. That's the problem.
No, I know we're probably all.
There are so many issues at the minute, and they've not come out and addressed any of them. They've released some pitch notes for the next patch, and there's nothing on there about any of them.
I was just going to ask that. I haven't read them yet, but
I don't even think they're aware of it. To be honest with you,
I think there is a lot of issues, and I think there's too many issues to to solve in one patch. Because I think the game would be down for a day if they tried to fix all of it in one.
I get that there is going to be because it's a new game, but I do not remember like this amount last FIFA at the start.
No, I mean this. So I was earlier on. It seems to be on the console. So I was in the transfer market. I was just trying to do the foundations actually, and then trying to flick across the pages on the transfer list
With R1.
With R1, and I'm clicking the behind menu is clicking, and then I couldn't even press circle to get out of it.
Yeah.
Mate, that's the one that's getting me, right? So I'm quite I like doing all the transfer stuff on the console, not particularly on the app, because the iPhone app crashes all the bloody time, so it's pointless. So I'm flicking the right stick up earlier, and I'm trying to send things to my club. Flicks it up, send something to my club, and then the right bumper doesn't work. And I'm clicking the right bumper, and I'm like, come on, R1, come on, over you go. Doesn't work. So you have to back out the transfer list and go back into the transfer list in order for you to do it again. That for me, that's basic coding that I reckon Az could probably do in his job. So I don't really see why EA can't sort that out.
I mean, I actually went behind the menu, so I was controlling the outer menu.
That's ridiculous.
It's shocking.
So, and I couldn't physically get out of it because I'd obviously had that screen up, but I was actually controlling the screen behind it, so I couldn't even get out of it. It's absolute.
I think one of the
arse.
big thing on the patch notes was various menu fixes. They didn't specify which ones, but they do say that there's a bunch of menu fixes inbound on the upcoming patch, which hopefully are for the right reasons.
The big one for me is objectives. You complete an objective. Like yesterday, I was doing objectives yesterday, and then I was having to come off the game to go on the app to claim them, to then come off the app to go back on the game, so they'd be there completed.
I had that with the Bundesliga.
What is going on?
That's just
terrible.
Stupid, yeah.
What is going on?
It is, and I've the other one as well. When you so frustrating, you're sitting there and you're like, oh yeah, I've cleared it off. Go back out, and it's got a red 1 next to it in objectives. And you go back in, and it's not fucking there. And you come back out, still says 1. Go back in, and it's there. And it's like, well, yeah.
I've still got my
ridiculous.
1 store pack apparently that I haven't opened. That's a phantom store pack.
You should open that pack, mate.
What gets me with the icon is the daily objective. I notice it doesn't turn red. It just shows like a green, like Christmas present icon, and that's why I always miss it. Because the background is green itself anyway. It's just green on green, and they haven't done themselves any favour with it, the design wise. But
exactly. So anyway, this promo, obviously we've got Road to the Knockout currently out. Have you lads picked up anything so far? I mean, myself, I've got Bonucci and the final CDM twice, all tradable, which is always a bonus. What about you lads?
Nope. Got nothing.
I managed to.
Got nothing left.
That is literally it from me. Can't give you anything about any of the cards because I haven't packed any of them. I haven't used any of them. I feel a bit upset about it actually. I haven't even packed that fucking cheap, the really cheap 84 rated whatever it is.
Yeah, the CDM.
Mate, no idea. But oh well.
Makado is the one that I managed to get, the Colombian guy. And unfortunately for me, I opened it at like 1 a.m, so I was quite tired. So I seen Colombia and Champions League, and I was like, oh my God, it's Diaz. And then, the harsh reality set in that we're actually in the Europa League and not the Champions League. So not only did I get the really cheap crap one, I also got a reminder that we're no longer in the most prestigious competition in football. So yeah, that was a great thing to go to bed to.
I could only dream of the Europa League.
I did the Rainer objective just to see what it'd look like coming out as a walkout, to be honest.
I'm currently doing that now.
That's the one I couldn't claim my objective on. I had to leave the game, like Shane said, go onto the web app and then claim it, and then go back onto the game just to get my Rainer, which meant I didn't see him come out because it claimed within the game, within the web app, which was a bit of a shame.
I think it's showing as well with, like, the promo started Friday. We've not had like a daily SBC. The only thing we've had store packs, and then they've brought out them shit upgrades again today. It's just everything, like this promo, like the last one, is just leaning towards store packs again. And I think that's going to be the story for the whole year now, to be honest.
Not even had a cup friendly before weekend league, road to the knockouts cup match would have been absolutely fine, even if it didn't involve a guaranteed pack at the end of it. Just something decent that we could grind towards. We'd had nothing.
Monday would have been the perfect time to bring an objective or something out, so you've got all week to do it. And
Yeah.
like I said, we've had nothing. So I think it tells you where we're going to go down this year, what road we're going to go down.
I think it's really important now to say I think this podcast is going to be quite negative. So please don't turn off, because I think there's going to be some very, very interesting points made over the course of the next hour or so.
One thing that I was thinking of earlier is obviously they've got this pro ladder thing at the moment where players are trying their hardest to qualify for this pro thing. I wonder if that's a direct reason of why they're putting so many packs into the store, these untradeable packs, because loan cards count towards that. So those loan icons are obviously going to be huge for these potential pros and these already established pros. So I know someone like Dale Boy on Twitter, he's opening packs that he wouldn't normally open because he wants to get the best possible players to be able to compete in this ladder. So I wonder if that's also one of the ulterior motives from bringing out so many packs, and whether that's why they're flooding the market with these. And obviously they're untradeable, so it doesn't impact too much. But I wonder whether they may slow it down a little bit once that's over.
I think you're probably right, to be honest, and that would not surprise me at all, because they've got to build the best teams and meter teams that they can. So yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
No, I think you could very well be right there. But I think the issue is outside of that is that that doesn't fucking solve my issue with not being able to play the game. I'm the same as Ryan. I really like the game. I like how my team is at the moment. I like playing the game. But my issue is what am I going to go and play? I'm into Div 5 now. That's where I'm going to sit for the next 4 to 5 weeks. I'm not going higher because I don't want the stress. Yeah, so I'm going to sit in Div 5. I'm going to be a rat and I don't care. But what am I meant to do? Yeah, what am I meant to do? I've looked through the objectives earlier. I've done all the foundations now. I've done, I've got the rivals wins. There's no way I'm going to get to 200 squad battle wins. It's just not going to happen. So what have I got left to do? All right, these squad foundation cards, there's some cracking cards in there. And I think they got it, really good cards. But they're going to be behind us very, very shortly, right? So but why are they not behind a grind of 50 to 100 wins? Put something in there juiced, right? Fuck this, right? Just put in a 88 rated card. It's nothing different than what's coming out of packs currently, is it really? Put in some decent 88, 89 rated cards for 100 wins. I'd probably carry on playing the game because I want to grind and get these cards. But to have something that's I can achieve inside 2 hours to get 4 cards is not it for me. Because I don't get anything out of sitting there on playing squad battles whilst I'm washing up and eating dinner and stuff. I'd rather have something decent that I can grind on the game. And there's currently nothing inside the game that you can do that with.
I think it's super interesting, right, that we've had the game for just over a week, and I have already gone off the game and started a brand new Skyrim save today. So for a game that's been out for just over a week, it's not like, as much as I'm really enjoying playing it, I'm not like waking up or getting home from work or something and going, oh, I can't flipping wait to play this game, because I've gone on to Skyrim, which was made in what's brought out in like 2011, and probably has less glitches than the fucking menus that we've got here. So that's the thing. I think there's got to be something that they bring in very, very soon to just, boost everybody's enthusiasm again. Because I was proper enthusiastic at the start of the game. I was absolutely smashing it out. I loved every minute of it. Now it's died down, and I think after a week and a half, it shouldn't be like that. I
didn't touch BPM once last year, the whole of FIFA, and I started doing that on Saturday just to give me something to do. Don't get me wrong, it's quite decent at the minute. I've made coins as well as filling my club up, but it's not the most exciting thing to do. It's just the only thing to do for me, and that's why I'm doing it. But you look at last year's. I didn't think League SBCs were ever going to come. It took that long, and I think it'll be the same, if not worse, this year. I don't think we'll see them for another month or two, if we see them at all.
I think we'll see them. I do think we'll see them. I think there'd be huge backlash if we didn't get some sort of repeatable SBC like that. Whether they'll be a bit be a little bit different because we have a brand new roster of cards in the game, like we spoke about last week. With hopefully they kind of juice them a little bit more because we could have the female leagues and stuff in that. That'd be amazing. But I do think we'll see them. But I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't bring them out to like after Team of the Year, just so that you have to buy store packs to pack Team of the Year, or just something ridiculous like that.
I mean, it could very well change very quickly. I mean, the problem is we're all sitting here as Ultimate Team. We've got the Ultimate Edition. You've got to think that the majority of people have only had the game 4 days. You think how much we achieved last week by ripping into this game and and grinding it hard. They haven't done that. So I think, is it from EA that they've seen and gone, right, well, these guys need to catch up. So we give it a light schedule this week, let them catch up. Then hopefully we get something a little bit more next week and they're going to push a bit more at us. But, but that shouldn't be a downfall for us for paying more fucking money. Shouldn't mean we get less content because we've paid more money. That's just insane.
Yeah. I seen something on Twitter, like someone said we're 3 days after the thingy now and it's dead. Like what was the point of paying for the Ultimate Edition? Like what? It was pointless.
Yeah, at this rate, basically the only reason you get the Ultimate is you get it slightly earlier and you got the Pepsi promo, but those FIFA points the FC points you could have got anyway. Could have just paid for them anyway, couldn't you? So, you didn't really gain anything too much.
Like you didn't get an advantage of a weekend league before people that bought standard because they cancelled that.
No, but haven't we got there's things coming in October, haven't we, for having the Ultimate Edition, like some
We get
hero.
Champions League hero.
That's
November, yeah.
Is that November? Bloody hell.
That's always one of my main reasons for getting the Ultimate is the one to watch or the hero, because there's that bit of me that thinks I'm going to get the best one possible and I'm going to love the game. When in reality, I get the worst one possible. But we didn't even get the one to watch this year, to be fair. Didn't even get it as a promo, never mind as a guaranteed benefit.
I don't think it's coming either, is it? I can't see it coming after Road to the Knockout. I can't see it.
No.
It was interesting that they leaked all the players as well before Friday. I did find that interesting.
In what way?
Like, the EA had tweeted out what players were in the promo and stuff before Friday.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they did. They did. Why do you think they did it?
That's what is it to stop people like Sheriff? I don't know, but it just was interesting. It'd be interesting to see if they do it with the next promo as well.
Because of the lack of hype. People are not as excited because, like I said, everyone seems to have the same mood as what we seem to be having right now. So maybe they're trying to hype it up a little bit, but I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I think even with that promo team that you look and all right, yeah, Haaland's absolutely nuts and you love him and stuff. But outside of that, I couldn't tell you exactly who's in it because I don't care, which shouldn't be. I should be wanting to grind now and pack these guys and girls, but I'm not. I've got no interest really in doing that, which is wrong for a new game. Like you said, Brian, you've started a brand new game, and we shouldn't be like that. Not with our number one game. If this was a side game like Fortnite or something like that, it's different. But not when it's your main game that you play. When you're gonna play, that's the one you play. I just don't think it's right to have this lack of content for a good game that could get ruined by lack of content. That's the most annoying thing about it.
The only way to pack these is through rewards because there's nothing to grind to try and pack them. Like what are the odds of you getting flipping Bruno Fernandes or Haaland in a gold upgrade? It's highly unlikely, isn't it? So where else are you going to get them? Yeah,
unless you're buying packs. That's the thing, isn't it? Exactly. The only way is unless you're buying.
I totally understand that they're a business, but there becomes a point where the greed becomes too much.
Yeah, and I think there's still no viable alternative, so they're just going to do whatever they feel like until they see a significant drop, and then the problem is we're so fickle. They'll do something, throw something at us, and we'll go, "Oh, yeah, we love it, eh?" And that and we're back playing it again, and because we're fickle and we want to play the game. If there's no want to play the game, then it wouldn't happen. But we do. We all love football, and we all want to play the game, and that's half the issue.
I think we're kind of speaking for the community as well. Well, I don't want to put words in the community's mouth, but if you do have a look at Twitter, there are so many people that are in the exact same boat as us that have had the Ultimate Edition, done everything they need to do, all the squad foundations done, everything like that, all the squad build, all the SPCs, have been completed, and they're going, well, what the hell do I do now? So I think it is important that I'd like everybody else's view. Like hopefully when they listen to this, they've got anything to kind of say, they can like mention us and stuff over Twitter, because it'd be really interesting to get everybody else's views.
Yeah, it would be nice to see what everyone else is thinking. Yeah.
I see a lot of it on Twitter. I mean, people are going to be happy with it and stuff like that. Everyone's different, aren't they? We can only give our own opinions, but I've seen more people saying the same as us than I have opposite.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
So many.
A big noticeable lack of content.
Yeah, there's so many easy ways that EA could do things. Just run a fucking focus group. There's enough. You're telling me that if they really wanted to sort this game out, they could not go on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure it wouldn't take long to find us as a community and read what we're saying about it and just go, right, pick 10 people, right, we're going to run a focus group, like same as this call, and you tell us about our game. It's not hard. It's really not that hard to do.
That would be so fun.
Yeah, it would be.
There's no contact or anything like that.
That's the infuriating thing, isn't it? So yeah. I think the only good thing is I think I saw on the Pepsi thing, if you go into it on the help bit, I'm pretty sure there's a link for EA's help, but it's not on Twitter. It's worth checking it out because I checked it before I lost my rag with the fucking Pepsi site because it's absolute dog shit. It's worse than an EA site.
I can't even register to submit my codes because
I've redeemed them all and I've still not got anything. And now when I go on the Pepsi website, it just spins around in circles. So it's really helpful. Just the standard thing, but something like that, a little focus group, happy days, 10 people, 20 minutes, and we tell you exactly what's wrong with the game and what we want.
But I think you'd need more than 20 minutes.
But could you imagine what we could say in 20 minutes? We've been speaking for 20 minutes now. Imagine what we could say in 20 minutes.
Well, the speed that you're talking at, mate, you can tell them a lot, I think.
Yeah, I know, exactly. It's what happens when you get irate.
It should be a key thing for a company that big for them to have almost employees or burner accounts to just be lurking around in Nick Run the Foot Market's Twitter, Nepentez's Twitter, these big accounts, just to see what the replies are saying and what the general public are thinking. They should have people paid to almost do that as an everyday job, feeding back to them the people that make the content and make the products that come out. And it almost feels like they're so out of touch. It's like the British government. They don't have a clue what's going on with what the general population are thinking. They don't have a clue. They're so out of touch. As long as people go into the store tab, which is the only tab I never have issues in, by the way. I never glitch out in the store tab. As long as people are spending time in the store tab, they don't care whether we're on the pitch, whether we're in any other menu. That's all they care about.
Let's do a British government focus group as well. That'd be interesting.
Nah, just absolutely no chance on that one. So, Ryan, let's start with you on this. You like the game?
I do, yeah.
What do you feel are the best parts of the game at the moment?
Shit, good question. I actually enjoy the fact that it's not so easy to score, because I think last year I was finding that the games were my games were usually like 7-5 to me, or I was losing 6-5, or it was a 5-5 draw in rivals, and that used to piss me off anyway. But I think it's more difficult to create chances unless you're whipping crosses in. That's the way that I'm seeing it, and a lot of people would disagree with me because I've seen a lot of rumblings on Twitter with people talking about cutbacks and crosses and things like that. But I'm actually finding, it might just be because I'm shit, but I'm finding it more difficult to score more than 2 or 3 goals in an online game, and I think I'm actually quite enjoying the challenge. So that would be the thing for me. I think the game actually looks quite pretty as well. So let's give them their dues. It is quite a pretty game.
Yeah, I think that's really fair points. I'm similar to you. I think the cutbacks, yeah, I have started to notice it, but if you just follow them to the line, it's stoppable. I think I did read something earlier actually about you need to use L2 at all times when defending. Pretty much, you need to be tapping L2 at all times while defending because that's the jockey button. So, but yeah, with the cutbacks, I haven't really had a problem with it. I said I think there's going to be a massive problem coming with the crossing. Once people realise how overpowered it is, it will start to become a problem because I don't understand how you stop it because it's not like it will head into an area; it heads to the person. So it's heads to the ball is going towards the other person. It doesn't go to space and stuff. So it will track their run, and that's where it's going to be. And the goalkeeper's come for crosses doesn't affect it; it just negates that.
Sorry, have you seen the? I'm sorry to whoever it was that has tweeted this. I genuinely can't remember. The kind of driven crossfield through ball. There's something like it's some sort of glitch. It might have been deep view. I can't remember. Sorry, I can't remember who it was. It's a driven crossfield through ball that is just breaking defenses apart, and it's just flying past them straight into the path of the other winger. So it's like a switch from one wing to the other. Apparently that is just completely overpowered as well at the moment. So anything that is from one wing to another, any sort of switch of play is looking as if it's quite hard to defend at the moment.
Also, is that the R1?
Yeah,
I think it's, yeah. Talking of R1, if you've played clubs and you've tried your pro and you've tried to level up your pro, have you pressed R1 and circle? Well, it's R1 and square for you guys if you're not using alternate controls for power slide tackle.
No.
Have you seen it, Azza? It's the funniest thing ever. You leave the ground.
That's insane. No, I haven't.
Honestly, you're going to get sent off every game.
Old school FIFA 99.
Yeah, literally, like you think Curtis Jones made a bad tackle. Literally, it's the first time I did it. He left the floor, and I was like, "This is."
It's the perfect game mode for it as well. It's the perfect game mode for it. Last year, didn't use it at all. In fact, pro clubs every game. As soon as someone pisses me off on pro clubs, they're having it. And so this year, for it to be so juiced, I mean, I love it. Pro clubs is the best way to use that. I don't use it on Ultimate Team because I only have to breathe near someone and I give away a penalty. But on pro clubs, I'm taking legs out like every game, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, that is one of my things. I haven't used it in Ultimate Team because I'd be scared because people are turning and that'll be
too much at risk.
It's way too much at risk. But yeah, continuing, like I said with the game, I do really like the game. I just wish I had a reason to play it. I like the gameplay. I love the women and being in the game brings such a different side to it. You can mix and match. You can set your team up in multiple different ways to score. You haven't got to rely on the same ways because you've got such a vast range of players to use. You don't have to rely on one way of scoring.
Start a Sawloth to Glory player career mode, mate.
Yeah, I might have to. Gonna have to. What about you, Az?
Do you know what? I'm enjoying the game, hating it in moments, and mainly gameplay moments. Obviously, the menus do vex me quite a lot, but I got the benefit of uploading YouTube content, so a lot of the time I get to see how I'm playing back when I've calmed down, and I'm able to kind of make those adjustments. But fortunately for me, the core way of how I play is still there. I'm still scoring a lot of goals, and I'm not scoring them via cutbacks. I'm scoring them by the way I like football and the way I think football should be played, which I'm glad has stayed in my game. I did make some changes earlier on because I was struggling loads this morning, and I noticed my settings had reset again, and I put them all back to normal. And then a couple of games in, I was like, something doesn't feel right here. So I went back into my settings, and they looked fine. But I noticed the auto block pass or the auto interception setting was on off. So I put that back to on, and it made so much of a difference. But the biggest change for me is when I'm defending my cutbacks, I'll I'll get as close as I can to them with my fullback, show them the line, then I'll switch into my centre half, mark a man with my centre half, and then just tap second man press every couple of seconds just to keep that fullback nearer someone. But I found that so hard on this game because for some reason it keeps giving it to the opposite side of the field as my second man press. So I've gone into the settings and luckily this year you can change where your L1 position player changes. So rather than being auto decided, I'll put it on closest to the ball. So when I go out to that winger with my fullback and then switch into my centre half and hold R1 is automatically my fullback now, and that's helped me so much defending the cutbacks because I can tighten up then in the box myself and defend the cutbacks. So I'm glad that the core way of how I play FIFA or FC 24 is still there. I'm scoring the goals I would normally score, but I'm also missing the goals I would normally score, which gets me angry. But I'm getting there. I'm taking the time to just watch my gameplay back and think, right, maybe it's me. And instead of just going nuts at the game, I'm like, it could be me, and I'm trying to evaluate it. And so far, it's going well. I'm just about to promote up to Division 4, which seems like quite a high division for where we're at the moment. I mean, that's what Dale is, and I consider him an elite player. So, yeah, it's going all right. But I do completely lose my shit once every couple of games. So,
Shane, or are we just moving on?
There's no point in asking Shane.
There must be something.
I'm a guy, mate. I'm mainly playing at the minute just for the content and the interactions on Twitter and stuff. Because this is pretty much the only game I play. It's just it's one of them, isn't it? If you're not enjoying it, there's no point lying saying you do. I wouldn't say I'm an amazing player. I'm okay. I do all right, and I am doing all right. But I'm just not. It's just too slow for me. There's just too much. There's too many errors with like menus and stuff like that. It's not just the gameplay. It's the game as a whole for me that there's just too many things wrong.
As soon as League SBCs come, Shane's whole outlet will.
For the past few years, I've always been big on the menu grinding, so hopefully we'll get some soon enough, and that'll keep me happy.
Your time will come, don't you worry. I mean, the easiest way I've got to summarise it, I think we've got the potential of a really good game, but it could easily come undone in a moment's notice. That's where I think the game is at the moment. So anyway. It will be a split episode tonight, as there is a massive elephant in the footballing world at the moment, being VAR. But before we let Shane's muzzle off again, first we must test the lad's knowledge. And today it is my turn to set the challenge. The lads know absolutely nothing about this. So let's get going. So we're going to play a game that was done on CBS recently, which I'm hoping you guys have seen. I know, obviously, Kate Abdo's probably listening, so we'll give her credit for this.
DM me.
So, basically, I'm going to read out a statement, and you need to guess who the player is.
Okay.
All right. So, pretty much, we could do this 5 times. Realistically, there's about 3 possibilities of who it could be.
Shane's already
searching.
Shane just put CBS.
I've just saw Mudrick scored, and I'm in shock.
You just followed Kate Abdo on Instagram.
Yeah. So basically, their one was I won the league with Arsenal. I was Arsenal's top scorer for 4 seasons. Yeah, and obviously, I knew Thierry Henry went, "Hello, my name is Thierry Henry," and it was actually Giroud, and it was actually Giroud. Yeah, so that's the gist of the game. All right.
Okay.
You can all have one guess each. Obviously, you can go after each statement is read and go in whenever you want, but you will be frozen out until the last statement that I read. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do the first one, and hopefully it's clear. If it's not, we'll do the next one. So, I have played for Juventus and Man United. I have won league titles in 3 different countries. I have won an international trophy with my nation. I have never won back-to-back league titles in different countries.
Hello, my name is Di Maria.
No. but he is on the list. I have scored 2 or more goals against Man United.
Hello, my name is Ronaldo.
No. Right, this you've got 2 more questions now. 2 more statements. So, I started my career in South America, and I have never played for a team in Madrid.
I know it. I fucking know it.
So, Ryan, and then it's a shout out if you don't get this right.
Ryan, pass the torch on. Just say you don't know.
I don't. Well, I don't know. This is the
You've
thing.
got a free. You've
I've
got a
written
free
it all
stab.
down on my notes, and I have absolutely no idea.
You've got a free stab at it.
I don't know. I can't be asked. I ain't got a fucking clue.
It's the goals against Man United. Should be the one.
I haven't even written that down.
Oh, okay. Scored 2 or more goals against Man United.
Surely his time's up.
Yeah, my time is definitely
Yeah,
up.
got it.
Carry on.
Shout out, go.
Hello, my name is Carlos Tevez.
It is indeed Carlos Tevez.
I had absolutely no
mate.
idea Carlos Tevez played for Juventus.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
he did, yeah.
Do you know what? I thought I played an absolute blinder with Di Maria. I thought, I'm in here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't even think of him, to be fair.
It would have been worse because the next one was I started
South
my career in
America,
South
yeah.
America, which
I was
It's
so
a straight
determined
out,
to wipe off last pod's terrible record.
I feel so thick right now. It's hilarious.
Right, number 2. So, I have played for both Leeds United and Liverpool. I have won a European trophy with Liverpool. I also have an FA Cup winners medal.
Hello, my name is Ian Rush.
No.
Oh, no.
I have scored the final goal against Everton at Goodison
Hello,
Park.
my name is Harry Cure.
Unbelievably, yes.
Get
It
in.
is indeed, Azza. I thought that one
was
would
great
go.
goal.
Do you know
well,
what? From
good goal,
statement
Ross.
1, I had a feeling it was him as well.
The one I thought you'd go with was Gary McAllister
Mm.
because that's the famous one at Goodison.
Mate, I was thinking Robbie Fowler, to be fair.
He was the other one that I had on the list.
But
Yeah.
also,
Yeah,
that
good shout.
Australian geezer, his name's not coming out of my mouth because he's playing for Galatasaray. So I'm
Right.
glad Azza won that one.
Yeah. Right, the next one. I have played in La Liga and Ligue 1. I have won the European Championships with my national team. I have a Premier League winners medal. I also have a World Cup winners medal. I have played for both Chelsea and Arsenal.
Hello, my name is Cesc Fabregas.
It is indeed.
Fair play.
What the
Fair play.
fuck?
I told you, I thought he'd be quite...
Monaco.
To be fair, your choices were Petit,
Anelka
Anelka,
was what I was
or
thinking,
Cesc.
yeah.
I was thinking
But he never
Anelka.
won. Anelka never won the World Cup. So
Wow.
yeah, he was out on that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never. He wasn't
He
in the
didn't get
98
taken,
squad.
did he? Jesus.
No, he wasn't. It was Trezeguet
It was a
and
bad egg,
Henry.
wasn't it? It was a
Yeah,
bad
he was.
egg.
Yeah, but he did get the European Championship medal 2 years
He
later.
played here, there, and everywhere, didn't he?
Yeah, I'd take your time on this one, by the way, lads. So, I have won the La Liga title. I have played in both El Clasico and the Milan Derby. I am a Ballon d'Or winner. I have had David Beckham as a teammate. I have won the Serie A title.
Hello, my name is Ronaldinho.
No,
Hello, my name is Clarence Seedorf.
no. I have a Champions League winners medal. You've got 2 more after
I'm
this.
gonna
Azza.
wait for him.
I have played in the same side as CR7, and I have never won the World Cup.
That's thrown me off the World Cup one.
I will give you all a slight hint. He's not Brazilian.
I didn't think he was
That's
Brazilian.
okay.
that's where it was linked
Because I
to
was
the
thinking
question.
Kaká.
I mean,
He's on the list, but he's not. Yeah,
I'd assumed he'd won a World Cup, but just in case he didn't, hello, my name is Zinedine Zidane.
no.
Yeah.
Can you go through him again?
There's a lot of them, to be fair.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
So won La Liga and Serie A, won the Ballon d'Or, won played in El Clasico and the Milan Derby. Teammates with David Beckham. Listen to this bit. So David Beckham was a teammate, but he played in the same side as CR7, and he's never won a World Cup. He does have an icon card on the AFC 24.
No, my name is Eric Cantona.
No.
Please Serie A and La Liga, sorry. Not Liga and Serie A.
No, Serie A and La Liga titles. Cristiano Ronaldo played him in the same international side. Wasn't a team, wasn't club. It was international when he played with Ronaldo.
Hello, my name is Luis Figo.
It is indeed.
Shout.
Yeah, won the league title with Inter.
The only reason I got that was from Portugal.
Yeah, you wouldn't have. Yeah, it was shrouded to be a Brazilian one there, but well done, Shane. I don't think you can be caught now, can you? That's 3-1.
No, yeah.
So Ryan is playing for Pride this week.
I've been there, mate.
That, mate, so I'm not worried. How did you cope with this?
I didn't sleep.
I didn't sleep last night either. I can't afford to tonight.
If you lads get this, I will be impressed. So, I am an English striker. I have played for Leicester City. I have over 100 Premier League goals. I have scored in the UEFA Cup / Europa League, whichever one you want to use. I am right-footed. I've also played for Bolton and a team...
Hello, my name is Emil Heskey.
No.
You didn't play for Bolton.
I have played for Bolton and a team that wears claret and blue. I have been Alan Shearer's strike partner at club level.
Hello, I am Les Ferdinand.
Oh, unfucking believable. Yeah, it is, yeah.
Fair play.
And the last one was I scored the 10,000th goal in the Premier League. Was obviously was one unbelievable. Wow. I knew Shane would be the one, but congratulations. 4-1.
Yeah, I think he had age on his side there, right?
I was thinking Heskey until you said Bolton. He was at Birmingham, weren't it?
No, Heskey has played for Bolton.
Yeah, he played for Bolton.
He played for Bolton and Aston Villa, and Les Ferdinand playing for West Ham.
He was DJing in that Bolton kit.
I will now hand over to Azza for a new segment of the pod, and actually a chance for you listening to take part as well.
So, as Mouse just said, new section of the segment, hopefully one that will run throughout the entire season, and also one you guys can get involved with at home. Essentially what we're going to do is try and predict almost in a Super 6 format, 5 results for the upcoming weekend. And we haven't got a name for it just yet, but I'm just floating out there 4+1 because we've got 4 quality league games, and then the +1 is the Leeds game. But
it's just 4+ shit.
Very similar to like I said, very similar to Super 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 5 games. We're all going to try and pick the results, whether home win, away win, or draw, which will give you a +1 point. Correct score line would give you a +2 points, and then closest to the first goal minutes wise across those 5 games will also give you a +1 bonus point. The games that we have on offer today are the juiciest ones I could pick out of the ones available. Some good ones in here. We've got Burnley at home to Chelsea. We've got Manchester United at home to Brentford. We've got Brighton at home to Liverpool. Arsenal at home to City. And Leeds at home against Bristol. United? City. There's a brain fog moment there. But yeah, like we explained, we'll go around and we'll take the score lines from everyone here. I don't know if anyone in particular wants to note down everyone's scores. I use pen and paper, so if anyone's using phone, that might be a little bit easier. It's not going to get Pepsi spilt on it from the FIFA promos on my desk.
Yeah, Ryan said he'd do it.
Beautiful.
All right, I'll make it.
So I think if we start with yourself then, Ryan, if you give us the predictions for the games, we'll go one by one. If we start with Burnley versus Chelsea.
I'm going to go 3-0 Chelsea.
3-0 Chelsea, wow.
Jesus.
And then if you
You
I
really
told
don't
you
want to
my
win.
predictions are
3-0
going to be
Chelsea.
right.
I mean, they're fresh off a nice looking win at the moment. You're Manchester United against Brentford.
I'm going to go 2-1 Man United.
Right, that's not a bad shout. Brighton versus Liverpool.
2-2.
2-2. Oof. Arsenal versus City.
2-2.
Oof. And then, of course, Leeds versus Bristol City.
2-0 Leeds.
2-0 Leeds. Oof. That's a brave man there. If we go over to Shane,
You're right, yeah.
same again. Burnley v Chelsea.
3-1 Chelsea.
Nice. United versus Brentford.
1-1.
Brighton versus Liverpool. I'll be interested to hear this one.
2-1 Liverpool.
Oof. Arsenal versus City.
2-2.
And then we've got Leeds versus Bristol.
2-1 Leeds.
2-1
Yes,
Leeds. Oof.
love that from you, Shane.
And then we'll head over to Mouse. Burnley v Chelsea.
1-1.
United v Brentford.
2-1 United.
Brighton v Liverpool.
Sucks.
Ooh.
2-1 Liverpool.
I like the sound of that. Arsenal v City.
2-2.
And then Leeds v Bristol.
1-1.
Ooh.
Probably the fairest shout there with Leeds game.
Yeah.
I'm going to try my hardest not to defer from the ones I've written down earlier, even though it is tempting. For Burnley v Chelsea, I'm going 2-1 Chelsea. United v Brentford, I'm going 3-0 United. Brighton v Liverpool is a toss-up between 2-2, but I'm going to go 4-2 Liverpool. I think
Wow.
it could be crazy. They need some blood, don't they? They're an angry team at the moment. Arsenal City gone a bit rogue, 3-2 to Arsenal.
Love that.
And Leeds v Bristol, I've gone for a very tight 1-0 win from Leeds. And of course, what we have for the bonus point is the closest minute to the first goal scored across all 5 of those games. So I'll start it off. I've gone for the 18th minute, which I think could be a healthy prediction. Ryan, if you want to kick us off with yours.
I've gone for the 11th minute.
11th. Oof, nice. Shane?
I'm going to go 4th. Liverpool are probably going 1-0 down.
Yeah, that's actually a good shout, to be fair, especially away. And then Mouse.
The guy will be offside as well.
Yeah, I think Shane would explode. I generally would explode.
Just stop.
And if we go for Mouses to top it off.
I have gone with 7 for exactly the same reason as Shane.
Interesting. See, when I do Super 6, I always keep it a single digit minute. So I went against my own ways this time and went double digit into 18. So I wonder if that's gonna come back and bite me
Yeah, but
on my ass.
you've got anything above 18, mate. Don't forget.
Yeah, that's true. That's a lot of minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
there's no way. Yeah, there's no way they're all going to be 0-0.
And of course, anyone listening at home, if you want to play along as well, give us a tweet. And obviously before the weekend starts, because anything after the weekend would just be cheating. And see if you can get more points than we can. And we'll obviously like and retweet some of the highest scoring points.
I'll add you to the scoreboard.
So now I said Shane's that angry he's just taking a bite out of his keyboard. Right, let's go. So we're going to discuss Shane's favourite subject in the world, VAR. Just in case anyone's literally living underground, there was huge controversy in the Spurs-Liverpool game with numerous VAR decisions. The main one being Luis Diaz being clearly onside and it being not given. So I'm literally just going to open this up, and when we're just going to hash out what we feel about it and what we think, and maybe if we've got any ideas on how it can be improved, what we think should happen. First thing though, has everyone seen the Liverpool statement that's come out?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Be interested to see if they release it. Put it that way.
So that's the second statement, isn't it? The first statement was that they said basically they're going to try and take them to fucking town on this by the looks of it. And the second one is they want the audio released. from the officials from Sunday's games, which I can't see why not, unless there is something then there where them talking between each other going, we've had a fucking nightmare here, what are we going to do?
Would that come under the
100%.
Freedom of Information Act, though?
Yeah, it have to be. They publish it for every other.
If they publish it, then
they were quick enough to do it with Klopp recently.
Yeah,
with the linesman. So yeah, I don't see why not. They're referees at the end of the day. They should be held accountable. They're no different to any other instances. So yeah, leak the audio, unless they're scared that something was said that shouldn't have been, because the body language of the ref didn't look quite right. It looked like he'd almost realised he'd messed up before the free kick had been taken. Went to change his mind and then kind of just thought, oh, fuck it, I'll let it go on. So it'd be interesting to see the audio to go with the body language.
I think they said it was 45 seconds between the decision and kickoff.
That's insane.
That's insane, isn't it? It's almost a minute. You're telling me that they couldn't have then stopped the game? And all right, they're going to look like idiots, but would have been much better to look like an idiot there and change it immediately, so this shitstorm didn't come after it. But I think it kind of spiraled from there. This is why we're kind of a bit sceptical, especially as Liverpool fans. Why we're quite sceptical on this, because the shit decisions didn't stop. That was, it kept going from there. It was just shit decision after shit decision, and it felt like it wasn't a fair fight. I think McAllister's in the shit, isn't he? Because he's come out and said we were playing against 12 men.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
And I don't think there is, because it was quite clear.
Yeah, and not only that, it's his national teammate. He's having a bit of banter with a mate. That's the way I see it. At the end of the day,
yeah,
it's the same as me commenting on one of your Twitter posts and giving you a little bit of a banter dig. It's no different. They are humans at the end of the day. They're allowed to voice their opinion. They're allowed to have banter with their mates at the end of the day.
I want to point out firstly, I have no issue with VAR. My issue is with the idiots that are fucking operating it to start with.
Yeah.
And it's not just, it's got to a point for me now. I mean, I can only go off, no, I can't, no, not just off Liverpool's points of view, because there was like the Forest game at the weekend where Wissers nicked the ball off Turner and he's absolutely clattered it. And it's not even been like, I don't even think it was checked. And it's just decisions like that seem to be happening every week in like every other game. And it's just, it shouldn't be happening at this level. Like it should not. They shouldn't be getting away with it consistently. Now, for me personally, that Tottenham game was an absolute disaster, because it was like the offside goal was the main point, but there were several decisions in that game that was a joke. But I seen a tweet from LFC Laurie, who obviously a Liverpool fan. So in 13-14, Sterling was clearly onside, flagged off, cost us the league. In 18-19, Mane was clearly onside against Arsenal, flagged off, lost the league by a point. 21-22, clear handball against Rodri, not given against Everton, lost the league by a point. Go back to Sunday, Diaz was clearly onside, it wasn't even checked properly by VAR. And he said it's not being bitter or moaning, it's a consistent pattern of subpar refereeing, which has cost us trophies for years, and it shouldn't be acceptable at this level. And he's spot on. That's what I think. That's why Liverpool have had enough, because it's cost them trophies, not just games, but trophies. And that's why, for me personally as well, is why I'm so pissed off with it now, because it's just ruining the game for me completely.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to go back to the days of showing the replays and you've lost a thriller because there's an offside goal, because there's no VAR. We want that to be righted on the pitch, but it's even worse what we've currently got, to lose a game knowing that there was something there that could have stopped that from happening. I think that's what makes it even more sickening is, we remember back in the days, there's obviously younger listeners and stuff that won't have really lived too much, before that. But some of the decisions have been horrific through the years. And yeah, it's hard to swallow, but something like this is even harder to swallow, because it's something that shouldn't happen. There's so many ways that it could be improved. That there's there's the VAR guy, but then there's an assistant VAR guy. So why is he not flagged it? All they're doing is looking at a fucking screen.
Because of a lack of bollocks, mate. It's quite,
it is, and
quite simple.
Well, they said, that basically they thought the on-field decision was onside, right? But I'm pretty sure every single VAR call I've ever heard is the referee says to them what the decision is I'm pretty sure it is. They say, goal offside, can you check for offside? Because surely that would be it, wouldn't it?
They could not have even been watching, because if they thought it had been given as onside, they wasn't looking, because the lino flagged him off anyway.
Yeah.
So it should have been checked for that. So they clearly wasn't watching what was going on.
I'm a completely neutral. I have a completely neutral point of view here, because obviously I'm not a Liverpool fan. I think it's quite blatantly obvious that he was onside. Diaz was onside, like blatantly obvious. And the Curtis Jones red card has made, when it's slowed down, makes it look so much worse. And the thing is, he's tackled him. His foot has come off the top of the ball and then has made contact with the player. So if that's in Sunday League, you don't get sent off for that, right?
No.
In Saturday League, you don't get sent off for that, because the referee could probably, well, actually, I say that's standard of refereeing, but what you would expect is for people to understand that when you go in hard, sometimes your foot is not going to make contact with the bottom of the ball, but it has made contact with the top of the ball. Therefore, he's got the ball, and therefore it's not a sending off. If he's given a yellow card for it, you take the yellow card and move on, right? It is not a sending off, and it is not a clear and obvious error. And they always said from the start it was going to be used for clear and obvious errors. One thing I just want to point out with regard to this, I think Sky Sports put up every VAR apology that has been listed over the course of the last 2 seasons. So there has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different VAR apologies over the last 2 seasons. You have Palace and Villa when it was a Palace penalty. Jared Bowen wrongly being judged when he supposedly fouled Edouard Mendy when Chelsea won 2-1. Newcastle's 0-0 with Palace. United's 3-1 with Arsenal. You've got a couple of Liverpool results in there. Brighton seem to be in it quite often. It's getting stupid. It's getting completely stupid. And what's going to happen is people are just going to call for all this technology to be fucked off again, because it's causing some real issues within the game. It's also bringing the worst out of people on Twitter. And that's the one thing I will say.
Jesus.
Because, my God, there are some absolute bellends on Twitter with some... I mean, look, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but there are some awful opinions out there. Like, dreadful opinions.
Shocking ones.
Just dreadful. And I just think that... Well, I think VAR is an amazing concept. It's just like EA. They have these amazing concepts, but they're just not delivering it in the way that they should be. Wenger has also come out and said, I think, that he believes that with VAR, if the lines are touching, then the person should be allowed to be onside. They should be that should be an onside call if there's any overlap between the lines. Maybe that's the way that they do it from now on, because at least there'll be some consistency in. Well, you'd hope that there'd be some consistency in the decision making.
One thing I will add as well is about the Twitter thing and stuff. It's pretty clear when you look around at how much people hate Liverpool, like non-Liverpool fans. But even that game on Sunday has made rival fans. I've seen so much stuff saying like how bad it was and stuff. Instead of taking the piss out of Liverpool, they're saying how wrong it was. Blah blah blah, which I think goes to show you how big a mistake it was.
Oh, it's huge.
Like you've got legitimate goals not being given now.
It's a yard onside. It's literally a yard onside.
It's the worst VAR decision we've ever seen, I think.
Like the Champions League offside, why that was rejected at the start of the year is absolutely beyond me.
Yeah,
you know how they do that image thing with the red body part, then over the line, ain't it? Or something. Why that was rejected is I'm amazed, to be honest.
I heard it was rejected by clubs. Not enough clubs approve. They have to get a certain amount of clubs, a vast majority, to approve.
Yeah.
And I wonder how many clubs that didn't want it have been impacted by it this season already. That would be quite an interesting thing. And I think the thing is with VAR outbursts is like Shane said there, almost like when it happens to another team, I get fuming as a neutral. I get annoyed. When it happens to my team, I get more annoyed. But what doesn't happen enough is the universal annoyance. We see it with with fans more than anything. But now we're seeing it with managers and pundits where they'll say one thing when it's their team, but when it's another team, it's like, oh, get on with it, and that's why they're able to just get away with an apology, because every time they completely fuck up, they'll be like, oh, we'll just issue an apology. There's not going to be this huge outroar. Everyone's going to be like, you're rubbish, and banter off of each other. We've seen Ange already contradict himself. We see Gary Neville change his opinion 16 times a day, and no doubt that's probably a lot down to his employers with Sky and stuff. But Mark Goldbridge has been a really good one to listen to be fair, because a lot of the times I can't stand listening to him. But when these big things happen, he is very spot on with these neutral standpoints. And I think if other teams don't get annoyed with the teams that are being impacted every single week as well, literally every single week, nothing's going to change. They're going to be like, they expect us to just lay over and forget about it the next week after an apology. Apologies didn't keep Everton up. Didn't nearly keep Everton up last season when they nearly went down because of all these decisions, and they had multiple apologies. You can ruin clubs' futures and players' careers as well.
I was obviously angry on Saturday after the game and stuff like that, but then I thought about it, and it's quite sad, because I just feel like the game that we love it just seems to get worse. Like, it's not the game that we know and we grew up playing, and like you can't celebrate a goal anymore until that you've had it confirmed that it's going to stand, and it's just like, what is happening to it?
So on the topic of celebrations, can I ask your thoughts on Spurs' celebration?
Dickheads.
See,
I think that's all that needs to be said.
Honestly, I loved it.
I'd have done the same.
I loved it.
Done the same.
I know Liverpool had 9 men, and I know it was an unfortunate own goal. It was some finish, by the way, by Joel Matip. But we had this problem, I think it was last year, with Gabby Agbonlahor, and Gabby Agbonlahor said on TalkSport that Leeds should not have been celebrating like that. They'd won a game, it was 3-2, the other team had 10 men, and we'd scored in the 90th minute. I think Bamford scored in the back post. Can't remember who it was against. And he's like, it's disgraceful, you can't be celebrating like that. I'm like, why? Why not?
I think we celebrate that, but
they've won a game. Yeah, look. Obviously, there's issues and whatnot, but you are so overrun and overwhelmed with passion at that point that you've just won a game in like the 90 whatever minute. I think the whole celebration thing was kind of blown out of proportion slightly, but again, I'm a neutral, so for me, there's no bearing whatsoever.
It didn't really bother.
Bissouma did a lap of honour with his child in September.
To be fair, I didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
Scoring the goal's fine. That's celebrate a goal because you get the adrenaline rush, but things like that. Bissouma's doing a fucking lap of honour with his fucking baby, carrying him around the ground. You fucking see
I did see that. That's actually really.
That's what I mean. I've seen shit like that, which is just fucking mind blowing. Like, I get the adrenaline and all that shit, and I don't mind the celebrating after the goal, that's fine. But the celebrating after the game was literally like they'd beaten us in the Champions League final when we slapped them because they're shit. So, I get there'd have been massive emotions because they looked like idiots by not beating us when we had 9 men. And I totally get all that emotion and things like that. But it's the things like the Bissouma thing, and I'm like, come on, honestly, that's mad. That's just too far. That's too far.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm not bothered. It doesn't bother me. Like, do what you got to do. If that's what makes you happy, I couldn't care about that, to be honest.
You got to remember as well. This.
It's just like nothing will come of this. I tweeted it saying the same thing. Nothing. The only thing that'll happen is he'll be took off games for a week or two, and then he'll be back.
Yeah, he got removed the day after, didn't he?
It'll all be forgotten and stuff. That's my issue. Like, nothing will change. Nothing will come of it, and it'll happen again.
But I
can guarantee you now there will be a massive VAR incident this weekend that's controversial. 100%.
But I think you're right. Like, everyone needs to stand together on this because it's not going to happen just us, banging the drum and stuff like that. All the teams need to come together to get it fucking sorted, because otherwise, it's like you said, nothing's going to be done. This is the second. Bear in mind, this is the second time this has happened to us in a matter of weeks, with McAllister getting sent off and then it being rescinded. It's not like it's lucky that day it didn't cost us, but this cost us points from shit decisions that could have, the red cards, it could go either way. But that, the goal, we've won twice this season already with 10 men. Yeah, it's not like we're not adept to it. Everyone says playing Liverpool with 10 men is the same as playing them with 11. So it's not like, we're at a disadvantage, but we held on for 20 minutes with 9 men, for fuck's sake.
I'm not delusional. I like to think that I'm not a delusional Liverpool fan. I don't think the Jones is a red card. I don't think it is. Yeah. I can see why it's been given, because the ref's gone over to a still image of his foot on his shin. So I can see why it's been given. The Jota first, the second yellow is silly because he's already on a yellow, but the first yellow is not a yellow. He's not even touched it. He's tripped over his own leg. But yeah, when you watch a game like that, it's just a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, you don't mind losing fairly. No one does. It's the end of the day. It's the same as like when you play FIFA or EAFC. It's exactly the same. If you lose fairly, it's fair enough. But if you get fucked over,
we were well on top as well. We were well on top before that Jones red card.
Yeah,
we were.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
The thing is as well, this suspended him for a couple of games. It's like if I messed up that badly in my job, I'd be sacked. If I was consistently messing up in my job, I'd be sacked. And I'm not costing people thousands of pounds every week with my bad decisions. I could cost a lot of money with certain things, but when is enough enough? When do they not just get sent to the lower leagues and bring some lower leagues ref that are doing really well down in Championship League One, for example? Promote them on merit, bring them up and down as and when. Because if we just keep with the stale referees that just clearly aren't doing a good enough job, we ain't going to get anywhere. Charlie Austin's rant when VAR first came out, the words he was saying is help the referees because they're the ones that clearly don't have a clue. It's not the technology. It's the officials and the referees that are making the wrong mistakes. And you could post that Charlie Austin rant every week and it would still be applicable. Help them, make them better, bring in resources and fresh eyes and fresh legs in the referee kits and get them improved. There needs to be some kind of improvement plan, some kind of development plan. If you're doing crap in your day-to-day job and you're consistently making mistakes, you're going to get put on some form of development plan. And that they're just allowed to just get away with it week after week. It's insane.
I think we kind of forget that this isn't a new thing. We went through the back end of the 90s, early 2000s. They were talking about bringing Collina in from Italy because our referees were fucking shit back then as well.
Imagine.
And they used to make massive issues. So it's not like this is a new thing. That quite clearly, how these refs are made and things like that, and it's not working. Like inside VAR, inside that fucking control room every week should be an ex-professional footballer. Yeah, who's there to lend help to them and tell them and advise them, because a lot of them won't be top-end professional footballers. They might play Sunday League or whatever like that. But if you've got an actual ex-professional in there, in every single one each week, then it will help alleviate these problems because they can then explain to them, oh, this has happened because of this. Like the one with Jones that, it's clipped the top of the ball. That's why it's, everything like that. But I think the worrying stat is what they said is we only see the shit from televised games. We don't see all these other decisions that could happen 5-6 times a game in every single game. How many of them games have had an offside like that happen and then it's gone to VAR and they've gone, no, it's just offside. How many times has that happened? And it could happen 3-4 times a game. There could be teams getting relegated, losing out on Champions League and stuff like that, just down to the sheer fact that the officiating's not good enough in this country, and it hasn't been for a number of years. Because whether it's underinvestment or they just don't give a shit, I don't know what it is, but it's something that does need to change.
When was the last time you've seen a huge controversial VAR decision from one of the other leagues in Europe? I can't remember. I hear about it every week in the Premier League. And granted, I follow the Premier League more than any other league, but I follow, like Serie A update accounts, League One update accounts, just for the goals more than anything, and see if there's going to be any informed players to try and invest in. But I never see any controversial VAR decisions. Obviously, they're using the Champions League and the World Cup technology. Maybe that helps so much that their margin of error is so much smaller than ours. We're putting this pressure on ourselves. Go and get the technology that's out there. You're the richest league in the world. You can afford it. Just go and get it.
Anything else from you boys to add?
Take Azza's advice. Send it to the Prem. Do something about it.
Yeah, I've just realised as well there's an international break again after the next game. And I'm fuming about
For
it.
fuck's sake. Well, hopefully there'll be some EAFC content to keep us going through the dreadful international break. Let's hope.
Yeah, you will.
78 plus picks.
It'll be 79.
Marquee matchups.
Marquee match. Is that what you're pinning your hopes on? Marquee match. If it is, we are all fucked. If that is what we're pinning our hopes on.
I think we'll just have to play clubs constantly. I think.
Yeah.
We will get that. For everyone who does want to play anything like that, we will get that underway shortly. To be fair, it's not like we're all playing FIFA 24/7. So
yeah,
we've got no real excuses.
I'm playing Skyrim.
Well, you can forget about that. So, anyone, thank you for listening and play the outro. Thank you for tuning in to the Lengthy Lads podcast. We hope you had a blast hearing our thoughts on the fantastic EAFC 24 and the footballing world. And if you share our passion for the beautiful game, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop us a 5-star rating and leave a review on your favourite podcast platform. Your support keeps us lengthy. And as we wrap up, whether you are scoring goals in the virtual world or cheering for your favourite football team, remember that football brings us all together in the most thrilling way. Until our next adventure, keep the passion alive and may your game always be lengthy.